Ready. Alright, hello everyone. Hello again. Welcome to another episode of NAIJATOAMERICA. On our last episode, we covered shortlisting, what things to consider when you're shortlisting a major, and that was covered from a general perspective. And we also said that we're going to cover, the next video is going to cover from a master's perspective. So this video is going to talk about how to factors consider when shortlisting your program or field of study when you're going to graduate school. And hopefully you find the information shared here interesting. So, just a brief recap. What were some of the things we covered in the last video? She wasn't expecting that.
No, that's very yeah, so I think we covered basically finding the ideal spot between your strengths, what you're good at, your passions, what gets you excited, and obviously what the economy is saying in terms of what are the job prospects, what is the career outlook saying about whatever occupation that you choose. So whenever you find the place or the spots, the occupation that fits your passion, your strengths, and also has a good economic outlook, that should be where your major should be. That should be your major. I don't know what that long sentence was. But if you do find out that the economy is saying this occupation is not going to do that well, or maybe there are not a lot of new jobs in that sector, but you're still passionate about it, you're good about it, good in that field, definitely you can take the risk and choose that as your major, but be willing to put in a lot of work to stand out and to basically fight for the limited roles in that industry.
Alright, thank you. So that's if you didn't watch the last video.
Yeah.
Now, if you just watched this now, go on, actually watch the video.
Yeah, no, watch it. I cover it more in depth. That was
yeah.
just a 30-minute elevator spill of what we talked about before.
But yeah, that's also a very important thing to consider when you're getting your master's. But before I even delve into any of that further, the first question I like to ask people is, do you really need to do a master's? And I feel like a lot of people it's just like the natural progression. Oh, I have my bachelor's. Oh, maybe I need to go and do my master's. Mm-hmm. Now you need to realize that a master's is a time investment, financial investment, it's an emotional investment. So you need to consider if you are ready to do that, and then if it's what is it going to add to you. So if you're going to invest all of that, you need to be able to get some value add, you need to be able to get some return on your investment. So what is it really going to add to you? Don't just go do a master's for the sake of doing a master's just because you want to say I'm a master's degree holder. Yeah, no, all of that doesn't matter. You need to consider yourself, consider your background, consider if you really need to do it, and then consider how it's going to add to you before you go ahead to do a master's. So first question, ask yourself, am I really ready to do a master's? Do I need a master's, and what do I need a master's for? Then
more questions to ask.
Yeah,
it's 3 questions.
3 questions. Do I need a master's? Am I ready to do a master's? What do I need a master's for? They all fall under the general question of, am I ready? Do I need a master's? And then I just talked about investment. So you also need to consider if you're ready for the investment. So a master's degree is if you're coming to do it in the US, it's typically a 2-year program. Some programs offer it for 3 semesters, so about 18 months, but most of the time, prepare yourself for a 2-year commitment. So you're taking 2 years of your life, 2 years of your career. If you're working, it's a degree, so you're going to pay for it. Education in the US is not cheap. If we haven't said that already, it's not cheap. If you haven't done your research, go look it up. If you want to go to a really good school, that's additional cost. So there's financial implications as well. And then if you were used to a certain type of lifestyle before, you're going to go to school where you're not really working, or if you're working and you're not earning as much as you used to before, and you are now in a different, you're no more in the working environment, you're now in a school educational environment where you have to do homework, you have to do papers, you have to be in that frame of mind of, I'm in the school environment. So you need to be ready for that as well. So emotionally, financially, time-wise, it's an investment. So you need to consider how taking this investment off is going to help you. And you need to ask yourself if you're actually ready to take this investment. Do you need to take some time off your career now, or would it be better, would it pay you off if you waited a couple more years, worked a couple more years, and got some more experience before you went to do your master's. So you need to ask yourself those questions. One piece of advice I was given before I started my master's was to, like, after undergrad, wait and work a couple of years before you go do your master's. Don't just go to your master's immediately. Which I didn't really heed to, because I did my master's like 2 years after I finished undergrad, but then it was just 1 year of that was NYC. I didn't really work for a long time, and working really helps you get on a career path, helps you set your career trajectory, and it helps you determine what you like to do. You discover new things, so you realize, oh, if we're going to do a master's based off of what you studied in undergrad, you start working and you realize, oh, I can do something else in my field. I can do something else in my current field that will help me grow and advance in my career. I don't necessarily need to do something based off of what I studied. For instance, I studied economics for undergrad, and I went to do a master's in economics as well, which, quite frankly, I would admit it wasn't the best decision, and I didn't really have a goal for doing that. So you need to determine why you are going to study what you are going to study, and how it's going to add to you and add to your goals. So which brings me to my next point. You need to do, goes back to what she says, try and do like a SWOT analysis, but in this case, consider your background and consider your goals. So who are you? Where are you right now in your life? Where are you right now in your career? What are you trying to achieve? So if you've been working for a while, I'll give an instance. If you have been working in finance and you know that you want to work in the finance industry, you can choose to go do a master's in financial economics, financial engineering, do an MBA with concentration in finance, and you know that once you're done with school, you want to work in, say, investments or do private equity or something like that. But obviously, you know your goal is to help you get to a higher level in your career once you're done with your master's. So that investment of time is worth it, because by the time you're done, you're going to advance to a higher level. You're not going back to the same position you were. And you know that this is going to help you in the same career. So that's a typical example of considering your background. Consider also what your goals are. So who are you as a person, and what do you intend to do? Are you more of a research kind of person? Are you the type of person who's always seen a PhD in your future? Do you see yourself more career oriented or more business entrepreneurial oriented? And then think about, what do you see yourself doing in the next 5 years? If you currently own a business, or you hope to own a business, and you want to see yourself running your business, you might not necessarily need to do a master's in a corporate corporate field if that's not what you're doing right now. So if you currently own a business and you see yourself growing your business for 5 to 10 years, you might be better off doing a short course or a certification that can teach you how to run your business better and give you skills that can help you be a better business owner, as opposed to going to go and do a master's in an MBA. Might not even pay you that well if you are a business owner, depending on what kind of business you run. And if you want to go do an MBA, I would advise work, gain your experience. That way, your MBA is much more valuable. You appreciate your MBA. You appreciate the investment, because MBAs are not cheap; they're expensive. Yeah. So you appreciate your investments financially, especially.
I guess if you own a business and you decide to do an MBA, your biggest benefit will be getting connections. So your business needs to be at a point where you are able to offer, value to your fellow classmates. So you meet a lot of top executives. You meet people that maybe they're also going to start their business rather than the MBA. Mm-hmm. But your business needs to be at a point where you can say, I own this business. This is what we've done. I'm getting an MBA to maybe get more business skills, grow my network, and all of that. If you don't have that yet, I don't know what the value of an MBA would be. So just be one more certificate, something to hang on your wall.
Exactly. And you don't even really fully appreciate that if you don't have the full experience, like working experience, diverse working experience. You don't really appreciate the value of an MBA. So you need to consider your goals, essentially. And if you think you are more research oriented, then you might be better off going to do a master's that leads into that could lead you on the path to doing a PhD. So it goes back to our other video where we talked about things to consider when you're shortlisting schools, I believe. Look at, every school has a different curriculum for their program. So you could be studying communication. The way it's offered in one school is different from the way it's offered in another school. So you could do communication with the goal to working in public relations. So that means you're going the corporate side. Or you could do communications with the goal to being a health communications analyst. That means you want to do more research. So looking at the curriculum will help you determine how it's being taught and if you want to do more research, then that way you know that you have an opportunity to do that with that particular master's degree, and that will lead you naturally onto a PhD. So consider your background, consider your goals, do a SWOT analysis of what you want to do, who you are, what you like to do, and then think about the prospects, the goals. And then after that, once you've done all of this, you're sure, oh, I want to do a master's, I'm ready to do a master's, I'm ready for time commitment. You need to start doing your research. So reach out to as many people as you can. Think about, okay, this is what I want to do. Think about, if you want to come to the US, do I want to work in the US afterwards? Think about the job prospects in the US. So then this is when you reach out to people in your school or reach out to your network of people who you know here. We can be a network too, and ask about, hey, this is what I want to study. What are the prospects of getting a job in this field after? Look, in our last video we talked about the occupational handbook. Go on that occupational handbook, see how much salary your potential field, how much that commands, how much you could stand to earn, because you don't just want to put in all that time and then you are going back, you're going to a level that was lower than where you started. So think about how much it's not worth it. So think about how much you stand to earn, and then think about how much time you have to work. So another thing people don't really know is that in the US you're typically given 1 year to work after school as an international student. There are programs that are considered STEM majors or STEM degrees, which are science, technology, engineering, mathematics. So with the STEM degree you get 3 years altogether, you get 3 years to work in the US, and 3 years is a long time. After 3 years you can decide to go back home, you can decide to stay back, relocate somewhere else, do another degree, whatever. But think about what the prospects are, and that goes back to your goals. So do you want to work in the US after, or do you want to go back home? Think about it, wherever location you want to end up, think about the job prospects and what you could potentially be doing, and how your masters would have added to you altogether as a person. So doing your research is very, very, very critical. I cannot overemphasize the importance of this. Also do your research, reach out to as many people as possible, reach out to your network, anybody you know that is in the US and that is doing something in the line of what you want to do, just reach out to them. It could be on LinkedIn. Do not be afraid to reach out to people, but the more information you get, the more you are able to make more informed decisions. So do all of that, and then you know, okay, I'm ready to start the application process. In conclusion, I think I covered all the points I wanted to cover. In conclusion, I would say critical factors to consider when you're doing your master's is ask yourself if you're ready for the investments, time-wise, financially-wise, and if you're ready to make the change and make the switch from what you were doing before to what you're going to be doing, like once you come here, because you're not in school anymore, you're not working anymore, you're now back here. And I would also say, yeah, you're going to be broke. I would also say, in Nigeria especially, I know that the job market is not the best, it's not the most encouraging. A lot of people just want to use a master's degree as an escape to just to just leave. There's nothing wrong with doing that. I would just say consider your options and plan well. So you don't want to do a master's. You don't want to use a master's degree as time to figure out what you want to do. Like I'll figure it out. No, that's that. Like take it from someone who's there and who's been there, done that. Like you can't afford to waste your time. So it's better for you to. I would still say it would be better off taking, even if it's 1 more year, and just plan and do it well, as opposed to just comment on and figure it out. You're going to suffer in this country if you don't have a plan.
Like 2 years go by fast. 2
years goes by really, really fast.
And you're still not ready. You still haven't figured it out.
You can't afford to not know what you want to do. So take some time. You might say, oh, I want to do this, but I don't have the experience in this particular field. Then maybe you work a little bit, or if possible, take a lot of side jobs to build your experience and build your contacts, and even ask people. You might think, oh, might be a nice field to do a master's in. Ask people, is this even worth it? Not every program needs a master's. You might be better off with the certification than as opposed to a master's degree. So ask people for. Well, do you really need to come to America?
See, okay, like I don't know, when people here tell you that you sometimes actually might not need to come, it's a bit like, oh, you don't want people to have access to your opportunities, you don't want people to blow type of thing. But to be honest with you, I know people in Nigeria that are doing very, very well, that are very, very comfortable living out what they want to do, and that they're passionate and they're doing well in their field. Figure America is not meant for everybody. There are people that were doing very, very well in Nigeria, and then they come to America and they start struggling, start suffering.
It's not. Think about if it's worth it.
Think about like really sit down and think about, is my life so bad that I need to leave? I know electricity is not constant. You need to buy generator, or you spend lots of money.
You might have lights.
You might have lights.
It might not be.
Or you might not have lights because you can't make your power bill.
So that too.
Like there are lots of things to consider.
Yeah, and it doesn't even have to be a master's. It could be a short course. It could be a program that you come here for 3 months or for a month or something. But you know what you're living. You know what it has added to you. The bottom line is that it's adding something to you. You're gaining useful information. You're not just wasting your time and just buying time to get an additional degree. No, you're using your time wisely to be able to give you something that will add to you ultimately. So if again you're not sure what you want to do, take your time. If you have an idea of things you would like to do your masters and you're not too sure, reach out to people who are in. It could be people in Nigeria, it could be people who are here, it could be people who have done their masters in that field. Reach out to them and ask them if it's something. Ask them their experience, if they thought it was worth it, what they are learning, how they are using their degree. All of those things will help you determine if it's really something you should actually even be doing. And the reason I say try and look for volunteer jobs or side jobs is then you are gaining practical experience and then you can determine for yourself if this is something you would like to do, if it's something you see yourself doing for the foreseeable future. And again, I forgot to cover this point earlier. If you don't necessarily see yourself as career oriented, you see yourself more as vocational. So maybe you like to cook and you want to go to chef school. There's nothing wrong with coming to the US to do something along those lines. You don't necessarily have to come do a master's. You could go to culinary school, you could go to film school. And you could do it. Yes, it's expensive, but it's also an investment for you. If that's what you want to do, then you also need to do your research and look at the opportunities. Because you could go to culinary school here, and then once you're done, like what are the opportunities available for you? And it's expensive, so say you're putting all that money, what am I going to be doing? How am I going to recoup my investment? So ask all those questions. And for stuff like that, the US might not even be the best place. You want to go to film school, you might be better off going somewhere else where maybe school fees is not as expensive and you get some form of scholarship. Just look at your options, look at your goals, and then ask yourself all those questions, and also reach out to as many people as possible to help you make informed decisions. So, in a nutshell, again, ask yourself if you need a master's. Ask if you're ready for the investments. Ask once you consider all of that, consider your background, your skill sets, your goals. Do a SWOT analysis of your strengths and the opportunities that are available for you in line with your strengths and in line with your skill sets. And then do your research. Reach out to as many people as possible. Think of the prospects and the opportunities that are available for you and what you stand to gain based on your investments. And then you should be good to go. You can also reach out to us if you have questions relating to any of this. And we can, if we're not able to answer any of your questions personally, we could point you in the direction of people who may be able to answer your questions, or reach out to our network and connect you with somebody. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Try to make this video short and sweet. Yeah. Hopefully the information was useful. If you have any questions, again, please reach out to us. Our email is going to be in the comment section below. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe to NAIJATOAMERICA. Please share this video with your friends, family, anyone you know who needs this information. Thank you for watching.
Thank you. See you on the next episode. Bye.